Do it.
Welcome back to another episode of Out of the Blank podcast with my beautiful Brad Pitt companion, Brian. Hold on. We got to do it how you do it. Ready? Welcome to another episode of Out of the Blank podcast. I'm your host, Robbie Robinson.
I love it. Love it. How you doing, Robbie? It's good to see you, buddy.
Your intro of your show is the best part of my day on Wednesdays.
I'm glad to hear it, man. I love it. I love making people laugh. I love making people smile, man.
It's another episode of Bag Milk. I'm your host,
Yeah.
Brian. You changed your motto in your podcast page, I would say, to what you said. It's just like Seinfeld or something. And I knew that was because of me.
Why was it because of you?
Because you know I hate
Because
Seinfeld.
of your personal hatred of Seinfeld. I don't know if it was. Maybe it was a little dig at the time because it did turn. I just came up with it and I was like, this is going to be perfect. It is a podcast about nothing, though. I have nothing to say half the time.
You have
and
a
yet
lot to
people
say every time.
I don't know. I feel like it's nothing, but maybe it is something. I hope it's something, I guess. But
It's very
I don't know,
knowledgeable.
it's nothing, but it is something.
I didn't know that.
Maybe.
I thought like you were saying Merry Christmas Eve. And I was like, oh, he's not doing the eve of Christmas. I thought you accidentally posted it on the wrong day. I was like, he posted it on the wrong day. That's what's going on.
I didn't know about Tibbs Eve either, but someone's got to school me and I got to school other people, I guess.
Is that
Gotta
just
share that around?
holidays for the alcoholics? Because you say Tibbs Eve. Does that mean like you just getting tipsy the eve before the eve?
I don't know. It's literally a Newfoundland tradition. It's not mine, but I know buddies that celebrate it, and it's a great tradition where they just go around and you just drink with your buddies before you celebrate with your family. You shut her down with them, and then you celebrate the rest with your fam.
Saying that word right now might hurt some people's heads because I think everybody's recovering from the night before, which today is New Year's, new day, new relationship, new hoes, new problems in the year 2021 we're heading into. And it's a special birthday for a very beautiful soul who's got a touch of gray in his beard, Brian Bridges.
Thanks, buddy. Oh, it's gonna be a good day. I hope. Like, I want to know who took over 2020. What caused that to happen? Like, what a shit show that was. I'm glad to put it behind us.
It's kind of like when your gas tank's on empty and your oil's low, and at the same time you have low air in your tires, and then you wonder why they all go out at once. That was 2020.
I wonder. It makes me think of that song. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's all fucked up. It's like a rainy day on your wedding day.
I don't know what show tunes they have in Canada.
That's Alanis Morissette. Oh, Canadian icon. What is wrong with you?
You could have tossed out plenty of Canadian icons
Ryan,
like Tom
Ryan
Green.
Reynolds?
Tom
Ryan
Green.
Reynolds and Alanis Morissette. Come on.
What about Tom Green?
Yeah, Tom Green's good too.
Norm
I tried
Macdonald?
to get him on the podcast. He wouldn't come on. He was my first ambitious guest. I told everyone, I was like, I'm going to get Tom Green because he was coming to Edmonton. I was like, this is it. This is what's going to blow Bag Milk out of the water. Getting Tom Green.
That's what scares me is like, when you listen to a podcast and then you meet the person in real life or you talk to the person and they're not anything like they are on air. That's Tom Green. He is nothing like he was on his show. He's really, really like awkward and uncomfortable. If you ever listen to him on Joe Rogan, he's about coronavirus, like spraying everything down, making sure he's like, I'm like, that's not Freddie Got Fingered. That's not Freddie.
I know. It's a completely different guy than he used to be. That's for damn sure. He's like a Howie Mandel now. It's a little weird. He's traveling around in his camper. Whatever. He's still him.
Deal or no deal.
Deal or no deal. But I know. I'd still like to meet him.
Even though it's important because today is your birthday, do you know what's going to be the worst thing that's going to happen though?
No.
You know, you're a gym guy.
Yeah. Okay.
All those new resolutioners.
Man. Oh, I love it though. I love it. I hate it and I love it, but I can't. There's nothing I can do now. Everyone's closed. It's a whole new scenario now. No one's coming to the gyms now. Are you guys still open?
Yeah, I'm still working.
This sucks. Yeah, no, ours is completely shut down. I don't get to witness the New Year's resolution
I
guys flooding the gyms in and
that's
bringing
the
their diseases with them.
That's the worst part for us is like they tossed out. I think we're supposed to get a second stimulus of $600, and then
Oh
everyone's
yeah,
like,
that'll help you.
yeah, we're not fucking no, yeah, we're like we're not locking down. Sorry. So I'm like, in the new year, let's try and make some resolutions. What are you looking towards in the new year? Like everybody else out there listening is probably trying to cure their hangover with some eggs.
Mm.
What are you looking towards in the new year? Maybe hoping or maybe wanting to start? I know you're taking the podcast pretty seriously. It seems like ever since we did our last episode, you've been kind of going ham at it.
Yeah, definitely going hard. I said that 2020 was a shit year for sure, but for good things that came out of me or came from 2020 for me was definitely I gave it my all. Bag milk was invented, I guess, in 2019, but it really took hold in 2020. Like there was a year I did like five episodes over the course of a year. This is nothing, right? And then 2020, I was like, this is it. It's go time. And I never really faltered the entire time.
5 episodes
So
can be something depending on how good of
no,
content it was.
there was like I enjoyed the episodes. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't what bag milk is now. Like bag milk's just kind of me ranting about life, experiences, blah blah blah. But the first was it's still something I want to do, but maybe in 2021. But it's not what bag milk is now. Bag milk evolved through 2020 for sure. In 2019, it was experimenting. It's still experimenting, but it's not what it is now. That's for sure.
Is it old enough to party on New Year's Day?
You know it. You know it.
The one
Oh,
thing I do have to say though is like it's about 100 and something episodes since when I first chatted
bro,
with you.
you're a champion. You're a champion among men. I don't know if you need to hear this or if you haven't heard it or you need to hear it more. Uh, bro, you're fucking killing the game. Like if there was a captain, fuck Joe Rogan. He's made it. Like he's not. He doesn't need to do this. He could shut her down and be done. You are just doing it for the love of it, and that's amazing. And like you inspire so many people with all your episodes every single day, consistently. Like it's definitely inspired me to keep at my game. You've gone through so much shit lately, and to keep doing this with all this shit that's going on in your life, fantastic, man.
Oh,
I
dude,
applaud you. At a 22-year-old, you're probably one of the smartest kids I know, and you deserve any accolades coming towards you.
I appreciate that, man. I think
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
cheers, cheers. The best part, though, I would have to say about it all is the fact that when we connected, how close we become, but at the same time, how I got to see you on David's show. See that whole thing happen. I love that, dude, because like you end up meeting good people, you start having fun with it. Then you have people to chat with all the time. I mean, especially during lockdowns and times like this, you have other people that you can connect with. And, in a world right now, it's kind of all cold and everything. That's why I'm hoping 2021 is going to be like an era where like you can branch out, make those connections. I'm just doing what anybody else could be doing. It's just, I think what's important about your show also is the fact of like you call out bullshit. I don't like the Salvation Army people that stand outside and guilt you into going into their
No.
stores. I'm not a fan of that shit. I think that's forced empathy. And it's too much of stuff that goes wrong, but I don't sit there and complain about it. You got to do what you got to do to make it better, right?
Yeah, no doubt, buddy. I hear you. Fuck those Santa Clauses. No, I'm tired of people guilting me into stuff too. Everything this whole year felt like guilt, didn't it? Like I don't know. Everything you've done wrong, it felt like was because of 2020. That's what I felt like. I'm like, oh, we're getting murder hornets because I fronted on that girl a
Ah,
little too hard.
I shit my pants. I'm gonna blame 2020 on that. You know what I mean? It's just like the whole year leads
Yeah,
up to this thing.
and then everything's gonna happen. Yeah, exactly. Every bad thing I stole that lighter. This is why fucking these riots are happening. I'm like, wow, everything's guilty.
Bro, you hit my car. It's like blame 2020. That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no
say. Blame
shit.
2020. So then 2021 means we have what can you do to make it better? Honestly, anything seems like we can make it better.
Anything. That's what I keep saying, man. It doesn't take much to improve your life or your anyone's life. Is I keep saying one thing. Like one thing leads into another. You know Jordan Peterson, right?
Yeah.
Well, even him, he said like clean your room or something like that. Even a very simple one time, my buddy, I tried to prove this point by like his car was dirty and I wiped the clock off his like dash clean. And he's like, why would you do that? And now he had to break out the cloth and clean everything else up because it had to match. And I'm like, that's all it takes, man, is one thing. Like, that's what they talk about. Like, oh, get a fucking fish. You're like, what am I going to do with a fish? We'll figure it out. Now you got to learn how to deal with fishes. You're going to learn shit now.
What?
Like
Okay.
one thing.
That's like when you hear someone say, "What's on your bucket list?" Like, I'll put skydiving on my bucket list. But do you ever
Yeah.
want to go skydiving? No, I'm actually deathly afraid of planes. So then, why are you choosing skydiving? Why don't you choose something on your bucket list that you actually want to fucking do?
Yeah, no shit, right? Fuck. Why
How
would you
many
do that?
people are making New Year's resolutions to get healthier or get in shape or join a gym, but they actually don't really want to? What they really want to do is sit and be a fat piece of shit all day long. And when that happens, guess what? When you make that resolution and you break it after 2 weeks, then you really hate the year and you really want it to
Yeah.
be over already. So I'm like, start something small. Say, I'm going to, upgrade my cable package. Extra $2 a month, but you get more channels.
Something, I guess. Anything's better than nothing around here, man. I'm like, man, just stop eating that fucking extra. If you eat 5 Twix bars a day, maybe eat 4. That's an improvement
That's a
in my
small
books.
win.
Yeah, that's a small win. I know people, literally, I know people that you walk in their door and from floor to ceiling is cases of Pepsi. Not unopened. These are fresh cases just ready to go in the fridge. Doubled up, layered,
I
right to
know
the
some
floor.
people. We both know the same guy who actually works for Pepsi.
Oh yeah, is he one of these guys too, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the same people, they'll sleep with a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi. Like, uh, you chugging that with your mouthwash? Like, come on, like you know better.
I think a New Year's resolution I definitely have because I think a lot of people talk about like things that obviously 2020 is a big year of like what we missed out on and all this stuff. But 2021, I'm
Yeah.
looking for maybe a year of travel. You know,
Mm,
I've been trying to think about revamping the show a little bit. I think I want to do less shows, longer content.
nice.
Maybe instead of doing every single day, I've done it for 2 years. So it's like, I think that's fucking enough. I'm not trying to, but I want to try and find myself. Where do I want to
No, no,
be
for
in
sure.
life? You know what I mean? Like for instance, we remember last time we talked about the shopping cart. Like, are you the type of person that brings the shopping cart back to the thing?
Hmm.
Okay, dude, that shit gets me. That gets me. The type of people that are like Salvation Army gets me. Just the forced empathy factor. That really, that's my bugaboo. But then it's the people that complain about stuff when they really have no room to be complaining about stuff. Like I, that they're
But
just
I
doing
feel
it.
like that's everybody.
Yeah, but they're
Nobody should complain about anything. Like if I look at my shit and I complain about it, and then I look at your shit and I'm like, I shouldn't be complaining about my shit. And I look about that for everybody. Everybody's worse off. Somebody's worse off than you. Guaranteed. If you're able to listen to this instantly, you are way better off than a billion people almost because you have access to the internet and a phone or a computer and you can listen to this. So there shouldn't be as many complaints that we do have,
it's like none of the
I
New
think.
Year's resolutions people have. They're all the stereotypical ones of what they think they should be doing. It's like, but what do you want to do? Like I look inside
Mm,
myself and I'm like, I want to fucking travel. I want to go
good.
somewhere where like the world's opened up. I want to connect with all the people I've talked to through doing the podcast, and I want to experience what life is at 22 years old. You never know how long you got. And then you end up getting shot in the foot by something. Like I had this freaking dentist appointment I had to go to. I can't even see my dentist right now because he has COVID. So now I
Uh,
have a tooth that is either fractured, it needs to be pulled or something, and I'm in on basically on painkillers just trying to manage through to the next day. It's like, all right, 2020 is not done yet. I'm okay with that. Like, I'm starting to think that tarot card reader was right. He was like, your knees going out. So I've been watching my knees perfectly.
oh, nice.
But that dentist
You'll be
appointment,
favoring one.
dude, that dentist appointment, here's where I say maybe getting healthy is a bad thing. He hooked me up to the heart rate monitor machine and it said 44 was my heart rate. the machine beeps when it's below 50. So every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
they muted it, it would be 120 seconds that it would be silent for, and then it would start beeping again. He goes, take a bit of this pill. I take the little pill to knock me out. About 30 minutes later, I'm like, I'm not feeling anything. He goes, all right, take it. This little bit of the pill. He gives me another one. I'm like, okay, took that. I'm not feeling it. He goes, you're gonna hate me. I'm like, why am I gonna hate you? He goes, I can't knock you out with the gas, and I can't really give you anything to really pass you out because your heart rate is too low. And if we get any lower, you could slip off it while you're passed out. And I'm like, so what are we gonna do? He's like, I'm gonna have these two nurses hold your feet. And I'm going to basically take my knee and put it on your chest, and I'm going to go in there. And I'm like, oh
Uh,
shit. So all you hear is the Dremel kick up, and my legs just go like numb, like, oh no, here we go. And most pain I've ever experienced in my entire life. And then when I left there, I was like, dude, I just paid you $3,000 to hurt me.
Yeah, yeah, that's not right. If you're gonna have pay 3 grand to hurt you, you better step on my nuts or something, tickle something.
I could pay
That's
somebody on
not.
Craigslist $10 to punch me in
Yeah,
the balls.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, no shit. That's
ah,
fucked up. Yeah, I can't imagine, man. Oh, I hate the dentist. I hate the dentist. Most pain I ever had in my life, I had this severe infection. What was it called? Cellulitis. It almost
oh,
killed me. I was like in the hospital. They said this is the largest amount of antibiotics they've ever given. I'm like, oh, that's great. That's great.
that's what
But
you want to
anyway,
hear. Makes you seem
it
like a
looked
pro, though, right?
yeah, right. But it looked like a severe, like someone took a big stretch of bubble gum and put it over my stomach. Like it started like a dime and then it stretched out to like, I don't know, 6 inches, like huge. And then they're like, this one doctor's like, I just want to see it. I'm gonna cut into it. I'm like, oh, okay. Even though everyone else diagnosed it and was ready to go, he decided it wasn't that. I'm like, okay, bud. So he's like, I'm just gonna see if we can drain it. And I'm like, oh Jesus. So he starts freezing all around, and it's so big you can't actually get to the center. And he's like, I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna hurt. And I'm like, oh great. So he comes at me with those scissors and he just jams them in and cuts. And I screamed at him and I cussed at him. I was like, "You cocksucker!" And yeah, it hurt. He wasn't lying. And worst case, worst after he was like, "Yeah, no, it wasn't that."
Oh
So
man.
he didn't even drain. There was no point to it. I was like, "Thanks." That's the most pain I probably ever felt, just being cut open for no reason.
New Year's resolution: don't go to the doctor. Don't go to the
Don't
doctor
go to the doctor. Just
ever.
wait it out. Yeah. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just guessing too. You got to realize half these doctors are just privileged kids that have parents that are like, hey, man, you should be a doctor. I'm like, I'm a C student. I probably shouldn't be a doctor. And they're like, yeah, yeah, you got to keep the lineage going.
You
Fucking
know,
be a
you know,
doctor.
I hate motivational speak, but at the same time, I think a New Year's resolution is don't say that you can't do that. Just do it because you probably can. Because, like, the dentist was like, somebody in my family was like, why don't you just pull the tooth out? That's always what you're supposed to do, right? It's so much better when it's out. And the dentist is
Mm.
like, that's old way of thinking. Why would you want to pull something out that never grows back? You want to keep what you have. And
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
were like, well, that's what I was always told. They go, yeah, that was old knowledge. I'm like, this is like the sugar industry lying and saying fat's
Yeah.
bad. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense of how we're just slowly finding out, like, wait a minute, you're telling me we're not supposed to rip out all of his teeth? That's actually a bad thing. I'm like,
Well,
yeah,
same as gallbladders, man. They're ripping out gallbladders all the time. Now they're realizing, oh yeah, no, you actually need that
you do.
bile extra production to yeah, break stuff down. It's actually pretty important.
Oh shit.
Like it's only that it yeah, if you get it removed, it sucks actually. You're gonna have well, you're gonna have a bad time anyway. But overall, you do need that. If it's getting infected, that should be telling you that your diet is shit.
Is it kind of like your middle toes? You can lose your middle toes, but you can't lose your pinky toe, and you can't lose your big toe.
Yeah, I mean, like you'll live, obviously, you're gonna get by, but I mean, it'd
That's your
be
balance,
super
bro.
important. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, for gallbladder and stuff, it'd be better if you just keep it. Like if you could avoid getting it abscessed and grossed out,
I'm about
then
to say, I'm pretty
do
sure
that.
keeping anything that you were born
Yeah,
with is probably the smartest
yeah,
thing. Like,
Well, even tonsils, right? The tonsils serve a purpose. They're clean out the back, everything. It's a filtration system. So when those are aggravated all the time, something's bad is happening to you. Like, and then you just like, let's remove those things so that you don't get irritated anymore. No, no, you need those. You can't just remove your filters so they don't get. They'd be like, fuck my oil filters and stuff in the car keep getting clogged up. I'm just gonna take them out. No, you need them. You can't just not put new ones in there. Same with your gallbladder, tonsils, everything in your body.
I feel like I could do maybe more things with like one kidney instead of two.
You
Y-
think?
like you ever feel like sometimes you could like move maybe be a little bit more flexible? Like I know so many people have tried to suck their own dick. How easy would it
Oh
be
yeah,
if you
yeah, yeah,
took out
yeah,
a
yeah.
kidney? You know what I
It
mean?
took out a kidney. I'd
That
get
damn
down there a
kidney's
little
in the
deeper.
way. I can kind of reach more.
I bet I could. I bet I could. They're pretty thick. Do you ever see a kidney?
Yeah, they're like little I would compare it to a
Like
pancreas.
they're like little air bubbles, like little clouds almost, little fucking bubble things.
Yeah, they're like right above the uteral sac.
The uteral sac.
How did we get here?
I only know these things because I worked at a beef plant, so I've seen them on large scales. I guess
What made you decide not to work at a beef plant anymore?
I worked there for 5 years, bro.
Did you still eat
Wow.
beef afterwards?
Oh my god, I ate so much beef,
Wow,
but
more power to you.
I ate so much beef, but it was cheap. I was getting strip loin steaks, dollar a pound. This is how much the industry is marked up. $1 a pound. And I'm cutting my own steaks on the line and sending them down. And it's just by weight.
There's a New Year's resolution. Let's get corporations to start being honest.
Yeah, right? Like, how much do you pay for a steak in a store? Like, I bought some on sale the other day. It was like 3 steaks for like almost $30. So, and they weren't pound steaks, I'll tell you that.
How about
They were
say if you're
maybe half pound.
if you're buying red meat in my town, it's going to be expensive. But if you're buying seafood, it's pretty cheap because the fact of we're a seafood town. So it's just that's our main thing.
I was, man, I wish I loved seafood. It's so good for you. My dad was a fisherman. I can't handle it, man. He
Wait,
did
do do
shellfish.
do New Year's resolutions work in the way of like maybe your New Year's resolution should be to like seafood, or is that just
I could
not how it
try.
works?
I mean, honestly, I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try because it is so good. And the my whole 2020 was a big win for me was the fitness, right? Like I've always kind of been into fitness, but I let my body go, blah blah blah. I lost 60 pounds in the last couple years basically, and I got pretty ripped up. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, but what really focused me is the nutrition. Like fitness, I can do that every day. Like it doesn't matter. But if you don't have somewhat of a nutrition guideline, it can go pretty crazy. So nutrition for me, I was like focused on brain health, brain health and longevity. I was like, I'm getting up there, but we won't say where. But I wanted longevity and brain health. So I read, and learned everything. And I think that was the biggest thing for me for 2020 is the fitness fucking
There should be
goals.
some specific
Nutrition.
resolutions that people are carrying into this new year. There should be some specific ones, but at the same time, there should be some overall ones where it's like move a little bit more. Life is becoming more
Mm,
sedated in everything that we're doing with technology. Everything is telling us to sit down and watch instead of going
yeah,
outside and
man.
move. Maybe spend more time connecting with the kids. Like
Yeah, I'm going to try that for sure.
it's fucking
Myself.
it's fucking hard in general when you have a job and you're working your ass off all day because it's really crazy how we view things when it comes to like a mother considers a lot of time spending with kids more important when a father sees working his ass off to pay for better things for the kid as a type of support. They both go coinciding hand in hand. So whatever you're focused on the most, maybe use a resolution to dip your side into the other part of the coin where it's like maybe I should spend this or maybe I should do this to afford this for them. It's
Mm,
this whole mix and pull of like there's overall things of trying to move around, eat healthier, obviously, but budget. Do things you want to be fucking doing rather than things people are telling you, oh, this is my New Year's resolution. Oh, I guess I'll do that. Oh, do you want to do that? No? Then why the
yeah, no
fuck are you
shit.
doing it?
Yeah, don't do something you don't want to do. I know, like for me, you said like try to spend time more with family. I really, I really wish I could.
Yeah.
If I could shut her down, I would be like all in. I'll cancel all of work and I'll be like done. But realistically, that can't happen for me. But I feel like this is my cause. If I have to, I've heard this before. If I have to take a knee so that my next generation can live that much better, the knee I'm taking isn't that bad. If I have to work all the time, I'm not exhausted. I'm not anything. I'm having fun. I miss out on some certain things and it sucks, but if it makes it that much better for my kids, then so be it. It's not even a second thought for me. There's so many people that in Alberta, out of town work is a thing. Like you'd go up north and live in a camp for weeks at a time. And a lot of people just would never do that. And their biggest excuse is because I have family. And I'm like, my biggest excuse for going and do that is because I have family. So
You're
it's a
providing
fucking
more economic stability than other things, but I think that's most important too, like letting them know like they never have to worry about ever scrounging for food. Like
mm,
the hardest thing, like, I was a kid, I wasn't rich, but trying to find food, if it wasn't for my grandparents helping and supporting, that was an important thing to know that I never ever really had to super suffer. And I think that's an important thing too, you got to think about.
yeah, that's these kids, man. They I keep forgetting they have no idea. I feel like I'm doing almost a disservice at the same time. Like I'm doing a service and a disservice. I see the down and the plus because if I give them, I'm not giving them everything, but I give them a cushier life than I've had, but then they don't see the life I've had. And that's a downside as well. I feel like they're missing out on some lessons that I've learned by having difficult times. If they don't have difficult times, what lessons are they learning? Uh, it's a fucking catch 22 for
Yeah,
sure.
because but you don't want you don't want your kids to grow up with like a Mike Tyson life just because it's gonna make them a good fighter or something. It's gonna be hard to see that go through that. Obviously, as a parent, you want to see like no pain put on them. But at the same time, when it comes to like a way of making this year coming up, like that is the weirdest idea that you're going to put so much faith into these statutes that you're going to end up bailing out on after like a month when it comes to like fitness or something to make the whole
Mm.
fucking year. It's like it's not going to take much to make it better than 2020, but everyone's
No.
putting the worst amount of pressure on 2021. And I'm like, you're going to will it to be bad. Just go into it like it's another year, but it's a year for you to pick up things that maybe you haven't started. 2020 gave you that option to pick up things. It kind of forced you into doing things you might not have thought about doing because you had a job or you were stuck in a system. Realize you got a life to live and hopefully rationalize some points that you can take into 2021 where it's like, let's fucking make this my year. Everybody says that. Kind of sounds like bullshit, but it it has some roots to it where it's like you can do what you want to do if you want to. I guarantee you, bag milk's gonna fucking grow. I'm gonna watch that. Like people are gonna be like, wait a minute, you can get milk in bags. I'm like, yeah, paper or plastic, bitch. And then like it's this whole thing like where you're going to see it take off depending on if that's what you want it to do.
Well, I definitely, bag milk's gonna grow. Like I'm not gonna slow down now, and I do. Like I said originally, those first 5 episodes, a couple of them were guests and stuff. That's originally what I wanted to do was guests. It was always guests. Like I always told people that's what I wanted. I wanted to interview interesting people, just interesting people to me, people that were regular, ordinary folk and doing extraordinary things, and then somehow I got away and I enjoy doing the solo, just nonsensical rants. And I like that bass, but I still I think in 2021, I'm gonna push for the guest. I would prefer to do it in house though, right? Like
Yeah.
I enjoy the Zoom, of course, but in house it's definitely you can get a better vibe off a person. And especially I'm in a hub, a big city, and I can definitely find some guests. Like I'm sure it's just whether fucking COVID will let you do it. A lot of people are just like, no, no, lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. I'm like, okay, that's fine, I understand, whatever. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'm definitely want to grow it. Definitely.
It's not even really the new year for you. Today is technically your birthday.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how
Happy
your
birthday
birthday
to
is the
me.
first and my birthday is
Yes.
the
New
31st?
happy birthday to you. 23 now.
Who's the person in the middle? There's got to be like what is it? It's 31, but it's not, the dial is
31 and a
shifted
half.
also over
When were you born? Do you remember what time? Do you
at
know?
11:32 at night.
At night. So
Yeah,
just before the first.
my dad was pissed because if you're the first baby of the new year, you get fucking paid. You get a tax break.
Yeah, we didn't get no tax break. I was the first baby born of that year at supper time, but it was just on my province, Prince Edward Island, and we just got like diapers and shit. But the year 2000 baby in Canada got like college tuition paid for, like, yeah, crazy shit.
You didn't get any like amountable pressure onto your head, like they were like, you're gonna be the best baby of this generation. You're leading the pack.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I got pressure from my parents all the time anyway. I think all parents think their kids are going to be the best kid ever.
And that is what a problem is because they invest all this potential into their kid. Like, you're going to be the president, you're going to be a banker, you're going to be an astronaut. And then when they don't become that, they're older and they're like, well, my life went to shit. I wasn't given the right road. I could have been this, I
Yeah,
could have
yeah.
been that. It's like, no, you were probably still going to be the bag boy at Dollar Tree.
Yeah, I don't know. I that's one thing I definitely push with my kids is the alternate routes. I'm like, you don't have to be a doctor, a lawyer, a policeman, a fireman. You can be that stuff you're drawing, that could make you money. These video games you're playing, it could make you money. I'm not sure what you're into, but most likely it can make you money.
20
Like
years
the
ago, playing
passions,
video games would not have made you money.
no, not a fucking chance. But almost anything today you're passionate about will make you money. Like the regular everyday 9 to 5 jobs are like, they're just there. They'll make you money too. But you can honestly, if you really, really, really want to, put your passion into something and get paid. I find today, if that's what you're into, if you want to put that passion into money, and if you don't, you just want to have passion on the side, that's fine too. But that passion can get you paid nowadays.
I like,
Anything, I
I,
find.
I
If you
think
collect belly button lint and want to put that on YouTube and someone else finds that interesting, I feel like
I'm
if you do
fucking
it
writing
well,
that down.
you'll get
You know
paid,
that's
man.
that's gonna be more popular than the podcast will be. I'm fucking writing that
Yeah.
one down. It's like
Belly button
ASMR.
lint collecting, man.
Oh
Yeah,
my
just
god.
rubbing on the mic.
That's really how you get popular. People always complain about I look, here's a New Year's resolution. Spend
Mm.
less time on social media.
I said I'm going to spend more time on social media. This is what I'm going to do.
The
I'm
fuck?
going to start an OnlyFans, I think. I'm just going to start whipping dick out. I said, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be sitting here jerking off in 2021 anyway,
You've
and I'm
heard
going to
of
probably stick
helicopter
my finger
parent.
up my butt. So I might as well do it and get paid.
You've heard of helicopter parent. Now we're talking about helicopter dick on OnlyFans.
That's right.
That's how you're
Bag
going to
milk on
take in the
OnlyFans.
New Year's resolution. Start an
That's my New Year's.
OnlyFans.
I told Danny, the girlfriend, I was like, yeah, I'm going OnlyFans. She's not a big fan of it right yet, but her friends are for some reason. It's really their friends are really trying to encourage her to let me do OnlyFans. I don't understand why, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I got to make money somehow. If 2020 if it's going to shut me down any worse and put my work to an end, I might have to start because what
All
else
right.
can you do at home
I
that's
got
going to
to
make money?
revamp my list. New Year's resolution top priority star in a porno. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
It,
If you never filmed having sex, buddy, get on that.
it's like I've never been specific about what it's about. It could be about anything. It
There you
could be
go.
like a Spider-Man parody, but it
I
could
would
be
love it.
like
I'll watch that. I'll watch that. I
Spook
don't care if it's
Sp-
your dick or not.
Splooge Man. I don't know. Just twist it off into
Oh
something.
yeah. Just send it out from the wrist.
It'd be more entertaining than the ones nowadays.
Oh fuck, there's nothing going on now anyways.
I know.
Comic book show. You must be excited though. Toby's coming back. You must be
Wait,
excited. Come on.
is that true or false?
That's
Because I've been
official. That's
okay.
official. These three guys are coming back, man. Guaranteed. That's 100%. I don't know which films. I think Toby said they were going to be in Doctor Strange, though. That's
I've
weird.
heard a lot of movie fans be really excited that this new year is going to bring a lot of good movies coming out. But I'm like, all of it's toward the end though. Like, wouldn't you want to get hit with a lot
Yeah.
of it like in the beginning and in the middle rather than wait all the way for like the Mandalorian on Christmas?
Yeah. The only thing I got look forward to superhero Snyder Cut, Justice League,
Justice
March
League.
25th, DC. Do you follow?
Not really.
Oh my God, man. Okay, Batman, Superman, the Trinity, Wonder Woman. It's a big conspiracy. Do you not know anything about Snyder Cut? You have ever heard of it?
No, but through listening to your podcast more,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm becoming more educated and also realizing how much of a nerd you are when it comes to like the superhero stuff. Like you built a baby Yoda, and I saw more posts about that than
yeah, bro.
anything I've seen about anything.
Right?
That looked
That's the thing I'm
difficult as
most excited.
shit.
My kids are growing, and I'm posting Baby Yoda package. It was hard. It took a while. Lots of drinks. Well, it
I,
wasn't hard.
you
It's
were
like
like
10 plus. Come on.
you were putting up progress. I was like, you've had too much to drink already. And then as you finished it, I was like, oh, it all went together like that. I didn't even think because the first couple pictures you took, I was like, this does not look like Baby Yoda. It looks like they dropped him down the steps.
Yeah, I don't even know what I was building at first. I was like, man, I'm so mad at Lego. Like they give you all these colors, like all under that brown cloak is like all these nice bright red and yellows. And I'm like, why? Why'd you give these to me? These are
They're
just
the
you're
stronger
hiding them.
blocks.
Yeah, they're just fillers. They're fucking fillers. They're probably just sending you off. They're like, reds are cheap. Send them fucking reds.
It's funny because when you drop Baby Yoda and then it breaks, there'll be blood because it's from the
Oh,
red Legos.
yeah, right. Oh, did you see the animatronic? I have this animatronic Baby Yoda one too, and now my daughter has kept it captive and treats it as a baby because you can actually rock it to sleep. It'll close its eyes and snore. Everything, man. It's fantastic.
So I had something like that when I was a kid, and it was called a Furby. And that thing, I swear to God, was
Yeah,
possessed by the devil. I
I
actually,
hate those
at
fucking things.
one point, took an axe can and lit it on fire and sprayed the Furby with it.
Nice.
It still worked with a half melted face.
That's scary.
And it would
That
just
would have been
pop
terrifying.
open in the middle of the night. And I swear to God, it was staring at me. It's like one of those glass clown figurines that like a grandparent has or something.
Oh yeah, no, it reminds me of like some like that would be in a Chucky movie or something. After he burned the villain and he just comes back. Nip, 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 Furby. Fuck off.
Your New Year's resolution was you said there's a one on there about getting a fish. I'm thinking maybe getting an animal. Like I would like to go for my falconry license.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be sick, bro. That would be sick. We
It takes
talked about
years
getting.
though.
Really?
Takes 2 years to get
Still,
a falcon.
it takes 2 years to get a falcon. That sucks. Well, get yourself a nice parrot or a little budgie bird, and just get the glove and practice.
But after 7 years, you get an owl.
Oh, that's a nice upgrade. A falcon and owl. Owls are creepy. Do you ever see that fourth kind?
No,
Oh my god. You never seen fourth kind?
no, I've never
Okay,
seen.
based on a true story. Happens in I believe Alaska. But basically these owls have to do with these alien presences. They have police recordings. They put it into the movie of how these aliens like took people. It's fucked, man. It's creeped me out. I still have only watched it a couple times because it keeps creeping me out.
New Year's resolution: stay away from fourth kind.
No, you need to check it out. It's
Sounds
fuck.
like Starship Troopers. I actually was painful watching that
I don't think I've ever seen Starship Troopers. I know
with
what it is though.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, I know. MPH, bro. He's my idol. I thought MPH is I thought I said MPH is the greatest gay ever because he's the best guy to play the straightest guy ever.
And
And
you
if
believe it. That's the crazy thing is.
you absolutely believed it. And that's what I said acting should be. It didn't matter that he was imagine if they were like, "Hey bro, you can't play the straightest guy ever. You're gay." And they just didn't cast him. They're like, "That's be stupid." But they casted him. He's gay and he played the straightest guy ever. That's the best acting ever.
But you notice people would get offended if it was a straight guy playing a gay role.
Right? I don't understand. I does not compute. If he plays that role better than the gay guy, I would also applaud him. I
New Year's
does not
resolution. People need to be less sensitive. Got it. On the list.
right. Yeah, no,
Spend
for
more
sure.
time being like bagged milk, pointing out your flaws and criticizing them.
I point out my own flaws. That's my biggest thing. Why would I point out? I'm not trying to point out other people's flaws. I think people think I do that, but I point out my flaws.
No, you point
And
out
then if you
bullshit.
see your yeah, but I point out my flaws and bullshit. And if you see that in yourself, then I don't know. Don't criticize me for that. You see that in yourself, then change that.
That's what I
That's all I
find
say.
funny though, is that I think a lot of times, like especially nowadays, I think people are, especially after the year has been like kind of like fed up. Maybe we should take into a New Year's resolution of like just stop being around bullshit. So much of the world's already kind of like this fake, fake, fake. It's like let's stop being fake and be more authentic. That's a top priority New Year's resolution.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. I don't condone the fucking fake bullshit. I don't understand it. I just be me. I wouldn't even understand how to be anyone else. I don't understand why you would try to be anyone else. You have one shell of a body and one existence. Don't try to appease 100 million people. Appease yourself and you'll be happy. It doesn't matter. I don't like that's my whole podcast. It's just I say things that I want to hear, and hopefully other people gravitate towards it. And that seems what's it's happening, and that's what's I don't know, man. I ramble on. I'm fucking
No, you're not. You're a genius. You're a beautiful soul.
retarded.
I enjoy I enjoy listening to it because I think the main thing is like no matter if it's on air, off air, you're the exact same person. And I think that's what a lot of people should start priding themselves in being. I think it's a lot of issues of what I have when it comes to a lot of things that I see in the world is like there's not that authenticity that you kind of need. And especially with how bad 2020 was, 2021 should be a year of redemption, should be a year of starting over, making something in the way you want to make it. So be yourself. But it's that idea of like, what about what other people will think of me? Why do you give a shit? Like, you can build a bridge if you want a bridge. You know, Brian Bridges can build a bridge. You know, it's
Build a
this
bridge and get the fuck over it.
exactly, but it's this mentality you need to have of like, it could be bad. Let's not harp on that. Let's focus on the optimal side of things. You built a baby Yoda this year. That looked fucking tasking. You know what I mean? Like, I hit over 600 episodes this year.
I know,
Bam.
crushed it, buddy. Boom, boom,
Already
boom.
already thinking of positivity, even though I have every reason to say no, fuck it all. But you got to think of the good stuff because the best times are always ahead.
Yeah, for sure, bud. For sure. I did a 2020 recap today, actually. It was a pretty shitty fucking year when you looked at it. But at the same time, all that shitty stuff, you had to look for your own. Like that was outside stuff. Like I get it. There was a lot of big outside stuff, but when it comes down to it, you got to look for your own personal growth. If you lost 1 pound this year, or you got a higher level in Fortnite that you crushed it out, just look for that one fucking thing to make your life a little bit better.
We got water on the moon and an obelisk on Mars. Where's the positivity in that? Where the aliens are real? That has been told
There
to
you go.
us. Why aren't we
Yeah.
focused on that? That's a pot. Let's hope 2021 we make contact, and they're not the things from Alien versus Predator. They're fucking nice aliens that give us like superpowers and shit.
I don't understand why we think we're the highest like caliber people in this universe, that we're going to be the ones to reach out to them. Like they've probably, like you said, it was probably already done long time ago, and we're just held back.
That is a big theory is like imagine if we were like a test little particle species and we just grew and evolved into what we are today and the aliens see us like about to nuke each other and they just come down like we put you on this planet to see to like, you're a test subject and you all you do is fight. I'm tired of this. You're the out of the 4 planets we tested, your planet sucks. You
Oh
guys
yeah,
went the
man.
complete wrong way.
They're like, you monkeys are fucking retarded. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I feel like we are like either like Lisa Simpson's petri dish, Or like when the Men in Black open like a locker and you realize we're a locker and it's a bigger universe, man. Like there's just too much out there. We're too. This is what is this? No idea. No idea. And you're worried about tiny little fucking problems. Tiny little
I say
problems.
when people sit there, like it really kind of was like a leveler for me, especially if my ego got too big. I would look up at the stars at night, and I would just stare up from like my driveway, just look up, see that, and be like, "We're on a giant floating rock in space right now,"
Right?
and we're all just hoping it goes together perfectly. Like, who's to say a meteor would just hit us right now and end it all? Like, it can really freak you out if you let it, but if you sit there and really think, like, how infinitesimal or so small my problems are compared to the grand scheme that is life. The fact that everything we're just kind of watching it go together so perfectly. It really makes your problems seem very, very minuscule.
Yeah, basically.
Uh,
No, it yeah, no. I have no idea what I'm trying to say. I
It's
lost
fuck.
my train of thought.
It gets me lost because I'm like I hear so many people complain about like, oh, John didn't text me back or they didn't have my apple fritter at Applebee's. I'm like, dude, you don't under fucking stand the fact that you opened up your eyes this morning, the fact that you can do this or you can do that or you can do. It's like happy that's going. I watched all over social media this past year. Everybody complain about things they didn't have, and then the things that people would get that aren't big accomplishments they bragged so fucking outrageously. And I just looked at that. I was like, for 2021, let's not do that. Let's pick each other up instead of put each other down.
Yeah, definitely share each other's comments. That's what I didn't understand going through this whole podcast thing even is not a whole lot of encouragement. Like I see it, and then other people are really they don't want it. They're like,
I tried to
I'll
tell you.
shun this away, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, I just got content, man. Like you just know, people are out there interested. Just and I don't know, man.
When you
People just
came on
hate
my
people.
podcast the first time, what I say, I said, this is a lot like a competition. And a
It
lot of
is.
people will be very judgy against you, but
Yeah, it's
you'll
fine.
find your supporters there. And I said,
Yeah.
just that's why I tried to put you in that little group. I was like, this is what you got. Just get to know David, get to know
Yeah.
Chuck, get to know these guys. Because they're people that are out there just wanting to try their best at something. The issue is when it
Yeah.
becomes a competition, a lot of people have this mentality to get to the top, you got to destroy the other guy.
It's funny because even I thought to myself, I was like, okay, uh, like I said, I'm in Edmonton, so I'm in a pretty big hub. So I was like, okay, I think I can reach out to enough local people and we can get like something going on. And it's just like, no, 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 no. Yeah, now I'm just competition. My most of the people that engage with me podcast wise is like not in Edmonton. It's like, isn't that like that should be the opposite. You should be encouraging people in your local
Coming
hub,
up on
right?
Robbie's 2021 tour, Edmonton, top of the list.
Yeah, right? But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I just figured that would be a thing, and but it's not. It's not a thing. I'm like, oh, it is, but it's not with me, I guess. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll do my own thing. I got other people. That's fine. We'll reach out
So,
when we
what
need you.
what would you say a couple things that you are grateful for of 2020 now that it's over? And then heading into because I feel like it's going to be like graduation goggles where
Whew.
people are going to look back on it like it wasn't so bad. It's like, yeah, you're not remembering all the shit you fucking went through. But some
Yeah.
good things, like there are some good things about, 2020 that happened. I think a lot of people had the ability to find themselves. Um,
Hmm.
like, what would you say that you would see as a good thing that happened?
Honestly, 2020, I'm glad we met, Rob. Like
Mm,
I said
thank
it
you.
again, I am ultimately glad you definitely uh you've improved my life a little bit.
I will
I
drink
don't
to that.
there you go, buddy. Here. I don't know if I've told you, but yeah, there's been encouraging moments. Like I said, you've consistently get your podcast going. So not just in your podcast, just in your life in general. And I don't know, we have this kind of connection going on. So I'm glad we met. It's a positive for 2020, regardless of the whirlwind shit show that we had. I made a friend. I made a couple friends this year. Like I said,
Imagine if I
Dave and
was
stuff.
imaginary.
So yeah. Oh
If
fuck!
if
Imagine
I was
I'm sitting here
imagining you're
talking.
talking to yourself.
I could imagine this actually happening. That I imagine stupid shit like that all the time. I'm like, what if none of this exists?
That would
What
be the
if yeah?
best plot line to a movie is like, oh my God, it's like you've really been in a coma for the past like year.
What if no? What if this is like Fight Club, and either I'm you and you're me, and you're bagged milk and I'm out of the blank.
I'm gonna write down on my New Year's resolution to watch Fight Club.
You've never seen Fight Club?
I've seen the part where Brad Pitt gets punched in the ear, and that's it.
It is a fantastic movie. It is basically you'd love it actually. It's a anti-capitalistic fucking movie, split personality. Yeah, it's really good.
You make me sound
Underground
like
fight.
such a rebel.
No, it's just a really good. It's an intriguing story. Like it's pretty deep. There's a book first. Apparently, there's a second book. I never read it, but no, it's really good. Fuck, Brad Pitt's shirtless half the time. He's ripped. It's
All I heard was Brad Pitt shirtless, and then it cut out.
ah.
You said Brad Pitt leaner. What
Yeah,
happened?
Brad Pitt and Fight Club. There's Brad Pitt. If you want to be in shape, there's two shapes. There's Brad Pitt Fight Club and Brad Pitt and Troy. And that's it. There's no in between. Brad Pitt and Fight Club's leaner, and Brad Pitt and Troy is a little thicker. You don't need to be any more or any less. That's it.
Your New Year's resolution is not to say Brad Pitt for the rest of the year. Um,
All right, fine.
and what would you say would be one that you have been thinking on? Like, what's a New Year's resolution? Serious one, a very serious one.
My serious, I said it. I say it every year. I have the same resolution every year. My New Year's resolution for 2021 will be to be better than I was last year. That's it. And honestly, I don't care how I accomplish that. I have an entire year to figure that out. And if I can't, what kind of piece of shit that can't improve one entire thing over 365 days? There's got to be one thing in almost every day I could probably think of that I can improve one thing. But I mean, hopefully I just do one thing and it just snowballs is the biggest thing. I try to do things that snowball. If it's just going to be something for nothing, then whatever, that's useless. But still something.
It's
Still
good.
something.
It's a manageable goal. Some many people
Yeah.
something is so unrealistic. Like I'm going to work
Yeah,
out
man. Like
every single day next year. It's like
no, that's
probably not.
stupid. Probably not. Like yeah, every single day is you yourself. You might be able to maintain that. I don't even maintain that.
I'm
Not even
tired.
close. Yeah, no doubt. Right? Like you don't have to. There's if health and fitness is your thing, you don't have to, but it is a goal. Some people like if you want David Goggins that shit, have at her, man. That's your thing. But I mean, if you end up that you're saying I'm tired, well, then that's not your thing. Try something else.
I think my
Make yourself happy and in not tired and more energy. That's what I try to do. Like
my New Year's resolution will be to try and find myself. That might sound deep, but trying to find where I want
no,
to
man.
go.
You're 22, 23 years old, man. Fucking that should be absolutely. I couldn't imagine being at your age and knowing the things you know right now. You are like almost like it. I could feel like I would like be Thanos. Like I would have all the stones. Like you have
Snap.
so much knowledge in your hands. Because of the internet. Like I never had this at 22. Man, I had nothing but drinking out in public at 22. That's how I got to know people. Like not that this is not a good, this is an amazing way. It's just I had no other way. And you're such an advantage right now.
It's less of a chance of getting like strangled in a back alley.
Or fucking yeah, yeah, or raped in a back alley. That was a bad time.
Did
No,
you get a funnel cake at least?
no, I actually got fucking almost raped, but you can't talk about that because I'm a male.
I was so interested to hear the story because I had a funnel cake experience.
No, actually, yeah, this was sitting in a parking lot in Subway, and I remember I was
Oh, there's your
drinking. This is
first mistake. Subway. What are you
right,
doing with
fucking
life?
Subway. This is I
Quiznos.
had no. There's so many problems. I had no idea at this time, but I had many problems with Subway. I got arrested in the Subway parking lot. I got almost raped in a Subway. I literally I went to the bathroom in a Subway, and this as soon as I walked in, this girl pushed herself in behind me and then grabbed me and then thrust me against the wall, started making out with me. And then I was like, what the fuck is this? And then she's like, you slept with my niece. Now you're going to sleep with me. And I'm like, all right, here
I'd
we
keep
go.
going
What
back
the
to
fuck?
Subway if that happened to me.
Yeah. Like, well, I don't know, man. I didn't then. I was like, I don't even know you. But anyway, that night I had a lip ring. I got my lip ring pierced. And my buddy actually paid for it, and he paid for the 40 ounces of whiskey I was about to drink that night. So that's how this all went down. And then I woke up with this same chick. I had no idea at the time, but she was riding me. I woke up and she was riding, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? What? And then I let it happen for a while, but then I couldn't feel anything. So I'm like, okay, get off.
My New Year's
That was
resolution is to be half as fascinating as you are, sir.
That's just one night, man.
Oh my
I had no
God.
idea where it was. I had no idea where it was. I had to look out the windows. I thought I was in a different town. I was in a different town, but I had to get my mom to pick me up. I was like 20 years old at the time. I still had to get my mom to pick me
Get
up.
your mom to pick you up.
I'm like, I'm fucked. I have no
Uh,
idea where I'm at. Yeah, it's great. This
ah,
woman was like twice my age. I think she was like 40 years old with like 7 kids at the time too. 'Cause she, like I said,
she's
I
getting
slept
less
with her
hot in
niece.
my mind now.
Oh yeah, no, she was a MILF. Don't get me wrong. She was in shape, like she did all right, like she was a clean bod, but no, she was old. But yeah, I was like, I gotta get out before you get extra kids out of me. I don't need that child support that age.
Well,
Yeah, good times, good times.
dude, I'm telling you, man. Good times
New
ahead. I
Year's
can tell you
resolution.
that. New Year's
Don't be
resolution.
chugging 40 ounces. Don't be chugging 40 ounces.
Stick to the bagged milk.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I hope everyone is looking forward to this year. Let's hope it's a good one. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
set realistic New Year's resolutions and
I
thank
hope
you.
people are thinking that this couldn't be worse. Like, at least you got that. Like, it probably can get worse, but if you got a little bit of, okay, this can't get worse, and think positive beyond that, it can't get worse. And then above, go above that.
Above and beyond, or just above. Don't put the beyond.
just,
That's too much
yeah,
pressure.
just go above. Yeah, it's too much. You don't give them too much. You just go a little bit above. Come on.
I
It
always,
can't
I
be
always,
that hard.
my
365.
my motto is slightly below average.
There you go. Just mediocre, man. It's you don't have to go hard.
I get
Like
by.
I think everyone thinks New Year's resolution, it all has to be done in fucking January or something.
Yeah,
Like you got 365. Yeah, because it's not a leap year. So take your time. It's a marathon. You got lots of time.
I love that. We're ending on that. Lots of time, but I want to say at the ending of this a very special happy birthday to my friend Brian Bridges of
Happy
the
birthday, Robbie.
Bag Milk Podcast. You could find him. I'll make sure I link everything in the description. Also, happy New Year to all. Probably eating some eggs right now because it's like the best hangover food in the world after New Year's Eve. Everyone hates my birthday.
Mm,
I'm okay with that. I'll live on.
you're the party birthday. You're the party. You're the
They party
show.
for
You're
it to
the
be over.
no, they're just like, ah, this is the day. This is the one day we wait for. And then my day is just like, oh, you fuck. Like, this is why I got the tie half hang. This is my day. It's just like, you're fucking done. And then let it begin after. January 2nd is really where fucking the show starts, I think. January 1st is just like, okay, the year didn't kill us yet. We're off to a good start. And then January 2nd, let's hit the fucking pavement running.
I like that. Hit the payment running and happy new year to all, and to all a good year. Like the tire company.